Hello, my dreamlings. Today I'm here with Dan, my editor, and he is going to be showing me a few videos, and we're going to be reacting to them.
Not so much of a we reacting so much as it is I'm going to be reacting to your reactions here.
Well, okay, yeah, fair enough. Like he knows these videos. Like he's watched them before, and I have never seen them. Probably.
Yeah, I believe you've never seen a Ssethtzeentach video before, yeah?
I don't believe I have. I know about him. I don't think I've ever, actually seen any of his content.
Alrighty, so this is going to be a bit of a fever dream. I'm not going to give you any prep or any warning about what it is you're about to witness. All I can really say is, buckle up.
Oh boy.
Hey people, Sseth here. Fellas, I gotta confess, I'm down bad. I got caught peeing in the sink. Now, I don't think that's weird. It's a victimless crime, just like punching someone in the dark. If the sink is so forbidden to urination, then why is it placed so perfectly, reducing my hesitation? But, I feel embarrassed. No, not because I did it, but because I got caught. I'm not gonna stop. I'll just get better. For the future, I'm gonna trick shot my stream around the sink bowl. That's a silent projectile. Effectively, I'm applying a suppressor to my gun barrel. That way, members of my family cannot ambush me so easily, and I will not be shamed by people who immediately revert to authoritarian fascist statements, such as, we have 2 toilets, why did you use the sink? Listen, I saved water. I saved lives. Maybe a few decades from now, there'd be entire villages in sub-Saharan Africa singing songs of praise over how much water I saved. And you know what?
So before I let him finish this little part here, so how's this video game review for you so far?
You have thrown me to the wolves, immediately. What is...
Would you believe this is one of the more tame ones?
What is happening? I was... Okay, I was not prepared for just a flashbang from my brain.
What, we're reviewing Company of Heroes 2. I don't see the problem.
I don't know what this has to do at all with Company of Heroes.
I mean, what doesn't it have to do with it, really?
He's been talking about pissing in the sink for the past minutes.
Yeah. It's a great commentary about the struggle of the Weimar Republic prior to World War II. Pay attention.
All I had to do was unload my fire hose in a kitchen sink. Company of Heroes 2, strangely enough, is the topic of this video. It is an old game played by old men, namely us. Company of Heroes 2 is a squad-based RTS covering the events of World War II, a fictional war where Germany hired Hugo Boss to design their fashionable blitz of Europe, Russia managed to kill 24 million of their own people, and the US greatly increased the temperature of 2 neighborhoods in Southeast Asia. All this happened while the UK sat in a corner, still wondering why marching all your men single file into machine gun fire during World War I may impact their ability to participate in the sequel. Basically, a sequence of events so absurd that we depart from the realm of fiction into history.
Goodness.
Everything seen here is not only real, it's historically accurate. Yes, the blast radius of a single grenade, approximately the same size as everything you love and cherish. Yes, the trajectory of a mortar shell, statistically, by a random chance, will always land perfectly on a soldier's head, killing at least 3 more. Yes, a machine gun will pin every squad on the map. That is, unless you own the machine gun, in which case it pins one enemy, gets flanked, and eats a Molotov to the face. Tanks counter infantry. Anti-tanks, or AT, counter tanks. But, pray tell, what counters an anti-tank? Answer, the same tank driving towards you. Combat.
Okay. So I'm picking up that this game is super duper optimized and is 100% fair all the time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's funny. He will have a thing about the fairness of playing against the AI in this game later. Don't you worry about that.
So, okay, all right.
Have you played... All right, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I have never played Company of Heroes, so, is
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, is it a multiplayer game, or is it...
Yes, it has up to a potential of 4v4.
Okay, and I'm guessing that it's like an RTS, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm using my context clues. I'm actually not a super huge fan of RTS games.
Is it something to do with that 5-minute attention span?
Yeah. And also
Yeah,
I
that's
get
fair.
extremely anxious whenever I'm playing them because I'm like
Fair enough.
I need to do everything, and everything could change at a moment's notice.
Nah, sit there and wait until your requisition gets high enough for you to build something. Enjoy your anxiety.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you would make a very disappointing South Korean child.
Probably. Yeah.
All right, anyways.
All right, let's continue.
That is a mystery. Sometimes the enemy calls in air support, pitting our infantry, so logically I shoot them down. The burning plane crashes into my friend's base, taking out the rest of his infantry. Here is the largest tank in the game, the King Tiger. Notice, standard for vehicles of its time, the traditional German Ahegao paint job. One of the greatest features of this game is custom content, because when I pick a shitty anime faceplate, you get no choice in the matter. You are forced to download the same shitty anime faceplate. Bruh. Which, when inspected closely, reveals instructions on how to make meth. I believe Central Intelligence can employ this in the future. We join someone's game, forcibly download illegal content to their PC, and do a sting operation on their residence. If they start screaming civil liberties or probable cause, cite Penal Code 129, paragraph 27, subsection C, which states, anyone caught playing Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis, or Company of Heroes 2 is probably a domestic terrorist. Sandbags, broken vehicles, or even a domestic dwelling offer the best protection. However, terrain is dynamic. A tank shell can transform brick walls into brick memories. A howitzer pancakes buildings into rubble and any men inside into red stains. And artillery fire causes deformation of the soil, leaving craters that provide cover in the process. Basically, in 1941, we already knew how to terraform. We can take anything we see and make it worse. There's also...
Yes, because that is what artillery was used for.
It was more like a happy accident, although I do believe you can find documentation that I think it was during D-Day that did happen on purpose, didn't wasn't it the case where they did just shell the hell out of some of the areas just past the beach to make it so like the U.S. Navy did, so that way there were places for soldiers once they got past the beach to hunker down.
Oh, I didn't know that. I do know random World War II D-Day fun fact is that the U.S. Texas, the captain of the U.S. Texas, ordered all crew to flood I believe it was the starboard side, whichever side was facing away from the beach, basically flood half the boat so that it leaned a little bit further up, because the way that D-Day was planned, they really, really wanted to protect their battleships. So they had them basically be like at a very set distance away from the beach. But that set distance was just out of the range of their, the maximum range of their artillery. So the captain had the bright idea, flood half the ship, get that little bit of extra angle, get those extra couple hundred yards. The after action report was that the USS Texas was one of the only battleships that was able to fire effectively onto the German entrenchments.
My God, I looked this up just because the troops had advanced the edge of the Texas's gun range. Her last fire support mission was so far inland that to get the needed range, the starboard torpedo blister was flooded with water. The torpedo blister, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that more or less where you store and chamber the torpedoes before you launch them?
Yeah, it's basically the ammo rack, yeah.
Okay, with water to provide a list of 2 degrees.
Yep.
Which gave them enough elevation to complete the fire mission.
I'm telling you, it was just a couple hundred yards that they needed. But of course, it was the captain of the USS Texas.
The commanding officer was Captain Charles A. Baker. That is such an American name.
That really is. Like, Baker even is just like probably one of the most American names ever, to be honest.
There's a picture of him standing next to his rear admiral, and he's standing proudly holding a 240 millimeter dud German shell that slammed into the hull of the ship and didn't go off. So he's just standing there holding it and grinning next to his admiral. American men were built different back in the day.
They really were. Like, my goodness.
So, ice. I don't really talk about it because having ice implies that you're playing a winter map, which nobody does because they suck. Ice breaks on impact. It's a great form of population control and a good way to lose your tank. Vehicles are a little different. In general, the distance, angle, size, wind resistance, conductivity, and horoscope of the ammunition against the horoscope of the armor determines damage. Most 88mm shells are made in June, making them a cancer, while most of the bulk production of German armor was late September, making it a Libra. Cancer typically defeats Libra, unless Mercury is in retrograde, in which case all bets are off. A tank's armor is strongest at the front, which means the
So I'm
back
picking
and
up that it's
side
kind of XCOM rules.
ripe for the taking. Fighting a tank directly is a
Not so
terrible
much XCOM
idea.
rules, but more just like, because it's in real time. XCOM is turn-based.
Well, I meant like for probability chance of just like, oh yeah, 99% chance to hit, but 99% of that time it fucking misses.
Oh, so in this case, it's not so much that your units have a chance of missing. If you're hitting the front armor of a tank, like you will hit, it's just not going to do anything because it's just not punching through. You have to hit it from the sides and rear, otherwise you're just not going to get through the vehicle.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, much like real life.
Yes, Germans had the best tanks, but the Soviets designed their gas pedal in reverse. Once you start the ignition, you press the pedal to stop the tank. If, hypothetically, your head has been blown off by shrapnel, your foot will release the pedal. The engine will accelerate and take out one of the best tanks in the world.
No way.
And then you make another.
Is that
Disclaimer,
real?
I don't know if this is true. My sources are some schizophrenic guy whose bathroom was red with chicken blood. And before you say, Seth, I don't think he sounds reliable, I'll have you know, he's a practicing doctor.
So I went and I looked this up, and the answer I got was none. I could not find any answer about whether or not that is true.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think it was true, but I'm not positive.
You know what? I would actually believe that. Another little known fact, the Russians during World War II had the very peculiar war tactic of just throw enough bodies at them and they'll eventually run out of bullets.
Don't worry, we get into the Soviet approach to World War II very soon.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
First, let's talk about the bad guys. The British. I'm kidding. The Orcs are a defensive faction. They can lock down large areas of a map with emplacements, and their tanks feature some of the best armor in the game.
Oh, whoa. I never saw the decals close up. Yo, by the way, this is a normal British tank. This is a real Cromwell. Bro, this is real.
Everybody gangster until the Churchill starts vaping. They do temporarily suffer from a lack of manpower. That is, until you reach late game, where Saruman begins to command the very mud to rise up and reinforce your squads with Urukai. Goblins are going to give out gigantic loans with even higher interest to all of their allies. By the end of the war, I expect their banks to hold most of the gold on the planet. But in this game, they actually fight. They can spam their basic unit and never lose a single engagement because, unlike everybody else, they don't retreat. They just park an ambulance outside and spawn camp your base.
So, small nitpick about this game. Did you notice that the American soldiers were manually chambering rounds after each shot?
Oh, I don't think I did notice that.
Which is not correct
Yeah,
because
so-
they were using the M1 Garand at the time.
Yes, which is a semi-automatic clip-fed. Well, technically, it's an internal magazine, but you reload through a clip. That would have been incorrect, unless they are all using the Springfield.
Homo Sovieticus. This game's release was met with heavy criticism from Russia, stating that portraying the Eastern Front as a slaughterhouse where civilians were conscripted to fight with a single lever-action rifle between 5 or 6 people was inaccurate, because by the time you get to use it, realistically, you're a group of free. Our tanks are built like shit. Our men leave their homes with teary eyes, domestically abusing their wife one last time because they know full well they might not come back. The High Elves feature the two best vehicles in the game, the Kubelwagen,
Y'all ever take your military
which
jeep
has
to the
the
drive-thru?
highest RPM in the entire game. It also dies from a mild gust of wind, which makes keeping it alive all the more interesting. And this is a Sturmtiger. The gun is so huge
Oh my
that
God.
it must be reloaded externally by the crew for 30 seconds. And this is what it sounds like when it fires.
Not the chode cannon.
I did a quick Google search on what this thing had for a weapon, like what its cannon actually was.
Yeah.
The main armament, a 380 millimeter rocket.
Oh my God. A rocket?
Yeah, it's a 380 millimeter RW61 rocket launcher. But yeah, it's a rocket propelled projectile,
Oh my goodness.
which explains the fire trail behind it when it came.
Yeah,
Oh my
I was
God.
curious about that because it didn't look like it was like a bullet that was fired. Oh, Dan has sent it to me. Let's take a look at this. Oh my God.
It looks like one of those hobby rocket kits you buy, you know, where you put the little like
Yeah,
thruster thing
the
in
little
the
like
tube
foot
and light it.
stompy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like 12 of those strapped to a metal ring.
That's fucking you don't get ingenuity like this anymore.
Did you see how far it went before it crashed?
No,
Yeah, let's go back.
oh, in the video? Oh.
Or yeah, watch how far this thing's arc is before the impact.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Immediately just drops.
Oberkommando Vest are highly mobile and aggressive. Their playstyle is keep pushing the front line until you win, and occasionally send a Kubelwagen into their back line. And finally, we have the Germans. I don't like playing the Deutsch. Everything is incredibly bureaucratic, just like Germany. Oh nein, Entschuldigung, we have not escalated the battle phase. Please continue losing a little longer before we can authorize the countermeasure for what you're currently losing to. Wehrmacht has some of the greatest variety in units and tactics, but I am very bad at playing them. I'm highly emotional
it's
and
accurate,
unstable. So yes, this will affect my opinion. There's many ways to play this game. Against AI, against players, 1v1, 2v2, anything is possible. But let me tell you the worst way to play this game. 4v4 versus expert AI.
Heck, fucking 4 experts? Hell yeah, I'm ready to get butt pounded.
What do you mean butt pounded? This is joy. Do you not feel mirth?
Which is what we've been doing for the past few weeks.
You ever played expert AI on Civilization?
No, my brain too smooth for Civ.
In the ancient era, they will get tanks. Gandhi will nuke your ass by the time that it reaches the medieval period.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You get so mad so fast. You're training years in just days. You're learning forms of anger that take decades to develop. My life is currently one of those Fortnite shirts you see around town, except instead it says eat, sleep, scream, repeat. I fucking hate this game. I lied. It's not fun. In summary, Company of Heroes 2. I hate it. It's great. But before I continue, consider the following. That purchasing a legitimate copy of the base game allows you to play only 2 of the 5 possible factions. That's right, you only get to play Wehrmacht and the Soviets. The rest is DLC. Surely that's not too bad, right? I mean, it's the least they can ask of us to buy the base game for $20 and then buy the other 3 races for $40. But wait, it gets better. Most of the game features are locked behind faction commanders, which can be purchased with money. For reference, an entire faction is the same cost as 4 commanders. However, and people are very quick to point this out, you could also earn them with in-game currency using the greatest loot box ever made. I've played over 100 hours. Do you know the number of times I dropped currency? Free. Do you know how many more I need to earn a commander? 27.
Bruh.
I love simping for corporations. I
fucking
love
God.
cash shops. I love that yummy high fructose corn syrup. I love the United Nations. With this in mind, I strongly encourage anyone interested to visit a third-party reseller instead. The copy you're looking for is the Master Collection. This should include all the races, but instead of $60, you spend $15. Yes, I know, everyone and their mother is scared of CD key resellers. I bought about 100 keys online. Every single one worked. Then I once bought a boxed copy of Fallout Tactics from the store, which just had an empty case with a code inside. That code didn't work. So, from my experience, putting my trust in a random Polish stranger gives me better results. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. This video is a test to see how quickly I could churn something out. Turns out for creative output, in the absence of passion, vitriol is an entirely viable substitute. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
So
wait.
that was your first Ssethtzeentach video.
It was. Wait, what's in the next 3 minutes?
His credits. This man's has a lot of Patreon.
Holy
Masters.
shit. He has 3 minutes worth. Oh my God.